Hey everyone, welcome back to Positively Fishing. Well, today the plan was to go fishing out on the Mississippi River, but the forecast was for about 20 mile an hour winds and 35 mile an hour gusts. And I just wasn't feeling that. Kind of tired of fishing in the wind for this spring. So we decided to come back down to the creek and do a little bit of gold prospecting. So we've been working the same area for a couple hours now, and we've been doing pretty good. We've been finding a little bit of gold, been digging up a couple spots, classifying it down, and then running it through the sluice. So we are going to get back at it, and we will check back in a little bit. Bill Dance back here. Got Bill Dance falling in the creek. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so this is our little setup that we have here in this little creek. Kind of built a little bit of a funnel here to get the water going through our sluice. That's the bucket that we've been collecting the black sand and gold from the sluice box. And then over here, we've been digging right along this bank right here, and we've been getting down to some orange and gray clay, and the gold seems to be settling in with that. So we are going to get back to digging and classifying, and we will check back in. Stay tuned. Okay, so back to digging. Oh, that's a good shot of some of that stuff we're digging up. We've got some of that gray clay on there. Sure, there's gold stuck to that. A little more water in our bucket here. Get a little more water in Kyle's boot. There, we're sloshing around good. All right, so we are going to keep on shoveling and classifying until we get this bucket about halfway full, and then we're going to run it through our sluice. We just finished classifying this bucket, and actually we probably overdid it a little bit. We've got about 3/4 of a bucket right here, and we're going to start feeding it down our sluice here. So, take a scoop, shovel it in, and kind of see how it's running. All right, and if you want to come in here a little bit closer, you see when I scoop this in, all the light stuff runs right down the sluice box. And then behind these big riffles here, you can kind of see the white sand is starting to disappear and work its way down. And then it leaves behind the heavier material like the black sand and gold. So we're gonna run the rest of this bucket here and see what we got. Some glare on there, but as Kyle was feeding, he noticed that there was a couple little pieces of gold in the box. In the glare. So I don't know if I can get an angle without any glare.
It's definitely there though.
In the second riffle down. So, well, Kyle's feeding material onto the sluice. I just wanted to kind of show a little bit about what we're doing here. So right behind me along this bank right here, that's where we've been working. And as the little creek comes down, this side kind of runs into this bank right here, and it's sort of eating away at this bank. And you can see in higher water, it's kind of chewing away at it. And then when we get down to here, the water slows down a little bit. So as it's working its way down here, the heavier material was going faster up there, and as we work down, that heavy material starts to fall out, and that's why we think there might be a little bit of a gold deposit here. So we're gonna keep at it. Kyle's scooping away, working his way through that bucket. I'm guessing he's about halfway through that. So we're gonna finish doing that, and then we'll show you what the sluice box looks like when we're all finished running this bucket. Right there, you can see that piece of gold in there. It's not big, but it's there.
You always got to remember, it's not the size of the gold, it's the value.
As Kyle's finishing up that last of that bucket, we've been seeing some gold, but we were kind of hoping for more. So I'm going to do a test pan from just down from the spot we were just digging. So throw a couple scoops. Throw a couple scoops in my pan. Oh, there's a big rock. Maybe one more in there. Oh, that's okay. Pan this guy out, and we'll see what we got. So the first thing I'm doing here, I'm just running this through my classifier to take out the bigger rocks. That just makes it easier to pan out. And I got my pan here of material. Some clay in here, so I'm gonna break that up a little bit. All right. So I kind of talked about this in my last video, but right now all I'm doing, shaking this material around, getting all the heavy stuff like the gold to settle to the bottom of the pan, and all the light stuff to come to the top, so then I can just quickly pan that off the top, letting the water do the work. Shaky, shaky, dippy, dippy. Shaky, shaky, dippy, dippy. Now we'll just pan this back, see what we got out of this test pan. This little hat cam that I have on isn't going to show it that great, but it's a pretty promising here. I'm sure there's some smaller stuff because I did this pretty quick, but there's at least half dozen pieces in there, and not sure if my hat cam is focusing on that or not, but there's a couple of decent ones in there. And I think our next bucket's gonna be out of that other spot. All right, so we're going to fill one more bucket from that place I just did a test pan from, and then we're probably gonna call it a day after that. Before I forget, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Flower Gold Wizard. If you're interested in these gold panning videos in Wisconsin, make sure to check out Flower Gold Wizard and his YouTube channel. He's absolutely fantastic. I actually met him down here a couple weeks ago, and he was just a great guy. He actually helped me find a little bit of a spot and help me get on some gold. So shout out to Jason and Rigby from Flower Gold Wizard channel. Make sure to check them out. I'll put a link in the description below. But we're gonna get to digging this spot right here, fill up a bucket, run it through the sluice. Stay tuned.
really gonna sip that.
Is that gonna make it through?
No.
I don't know. Kyle's getting pretty picky about the size rocks that I'm putting on that classifier. Well, there's a shovelful for you.
Killing it.
Takes a long time to fill a bucket 7 little pebbles at a time. But we'll try.
Probably some for a swim there.
We almost got to see how waterproof the iPhone 12 really is. Seems to be running pretty well. Is that like a big chunk right there? That top riffle?
Yep. I'd say so. I don't know if I can get it on here. Yeah, the big vertical piece?
Yeah. And a longer one. Well, there's another piece in there.
Yeah.
Kind of right below it, about
yep.
Right there.
Yeah, I wasn't even close and I could see it.
Yeah, those are 2 nice pieces.
It might be on there. You can see that little gold, the reflecty thing. Just that one. There's another big piece right there. The one little move, and we went from nothing really to bigger pieces. So maybe that's the key, you know, sort of like with fishing. Don't, you know, hit your spot when it starts to die down. Stay in the same area, but just keep shifting until you hit it again.
Drill more holes. We are a fishing channel, by the way.
Try to fish.
But I don't know if we're better fishermen or gold miners right now. I don't think we're very good at either of them. So we just finished running that last bucket, and we've got a couple pretty nice pieces in here. There's one right next to my finger there, and there's one right next to my finger there. Couple, oh, you can see them there pretty good. Couple nice pieces up there in the V-mat. So we're gonna get this cleaned up and then see how we did. All right, well, we made it back home and it's about time to get that gold cleaned up. So I'll show you kind of what my setup is. It's not very fancy, but let's take a look. So there's my bucket of concentrates from the sluice from today. I've got a couple of smaller pans, got my snuffer and a spoon, and then a little tub to pan into. That tub's got a little bit of jet dry in there. Sometimes the gold likes to float a little bit when you're panning, and the jet dry helps keep it under control. So I'm gonna get panning. I'm gonna do about two or 3 tablespoons at a time, and in about 3 hours, I'll probably be done. All right, now start rocking it back. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up. Right there at the top corner, there's some gold poking through. And I tell you what, it is windy outside. I think we made the right call by going gold panning today instead of going fishing. There are a handful of pretty nice pieces in there. So we're gonna get that sucked up into our little sucker bottle here. And do this again a whole bunch of times until all of that black sand in that bucket has been panned out. So we will pan our way through this and check in when we're done. Just a real quick little update here. This is the second pan out of that bucket of concentrate from the sluice, and this is from about 3 spoonfuls. So If this whole bucket is like this could be a pretty darn good day. Okay. Well, I just got all that concentrate panned out. It took a long time. And now everything that we got today is in this little bottle here. So we're going to dump it out into the pan. Take a look at that. That's quite a bit of gold. So there is our gold take for the day. We were out there for a few hours. We got through quite a few buckets, and that looks pretty good. There's actually some pretty good sized pieces in there, and then a whole bunch of really small stuff. There are a few pretty good ones in there. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It helps our channel out a lot. And like I said early in the video, if you like these gold panning videos or at all are interested in gold panning in Wisconsin, make sure to check out the Flour Gold Wizard YouTube channel. It's absolutely fantastic, and there's a lot of great information on there. And again, I'll put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.